Good morning, Eagles. Happy Monday. It is August 20, yep, 25th. My days in August run together because it's, the start of school. And, when I do announcements for the kids, I do it a day ahead of time. So, like, Monday's announcements were done on Friday. So, anyway, you don't need to know all that. I'll know what day it is next Monday. Actually Tuesday, because we don't have school on Monday. So don't bring your kids to school on Monday, September 1st. All right? We won't be here. But this is your Monday message, just very quickly. Some information that is in this newsletter to you. Our upcoming dates. This week we do have coffee and conversation with me on Thursday at 8:30 in the cafeteria. We are going to just briefly touch on our Title I status as a campus. We could talk about some accountability, answer any questions that you may have, talk about anything you'd like. But I do want to talk to you. Very proud of our students and staff and the work they've done in the last couple years. Accountability is what accountability is. State testing is what state testing is. And what I tell the kids is a test is a test. Test your brain, test your knowledge, it tests what you know, and it tests what you don't know. And our job is to take what you know and keep it there, and what you don't know and grow it. And all I want them to do is do their best. So we can be stressed out about a test. We can stress our kids out about a test. We can they can have anxiety about a test. But all of us have taken tests to drive, tests to get certificates, tests to be bartenders, tests to whatever we did in life, right? And so this is just the same thing. Like, we're training these kids on how to do these things. So anyway, back to accountability. Our campus, prior to me getting here, was not for accountability's sake, not doing well. And then this started my fourth year, my first year here, really trying to get systems and structures in place, teachers diving in. Following year, things got a little better. The next year, can't talk about our accountability. There's a lawsuit that says we can't talk about what our accountability is. This year we can. And so I want to talk to people about that because I'm super proud of the growth that our kids are making. We got a distinction this year in academic growth. That means our kids are closing gaps, and that's what matters, and that's what I tell the kids matters. So talk a little bit about that at Coffee and Conversation. Accountability matters for however long it matters, and it's going to matter forever because that's what our state system is, just depending on what tests we use, right? Because STAR, MAP, whatever the universe decides, we have to show we're growing students' brains. And so talk a little bit about that. So please come and join. If you don't like coffee, because I don't drink coffee, we'll just have a conversation. But please come if you can. Would love to see you. I do have late arrival information in here. It is district policy that if students arrive after the tardy bell, 7:35, that their guardians walk them to the building and sign them in. That is in our handbook that goes out to families, which is still being updated. Last year was on page 40. When I get the handbook, I will send out what page it's on. It happens at every campus, I think, except here. And so we are instituting that starting today. If you were here today tardy, we told you. Last week, if you were here tardy, we told you. And so please don't argue with our people like it's our policy. So you just have to get out of the car, walk up to the vestibule, sign them in, and go back to your car. Okay? We just want to make sure they get in here safe, and that's what we got to do. That's part of the job, being a mom and dad, right? Do want to talk to you about Virtual Lost and Found. Miss Heather has created this Virtual Lost and Found. The reason I'm talking to you about it is there's already stuff in Lost and Found. Okay, jackets, lunchboxes, water bottles. So put your name on everything. And as things get collected and Lost and Found, Miss Heather will take pictures and put it in Virtual Lost and Found. If it is yours, just say whose it is. Oh, that's my daughter's, right? Nicole Hooper's. And then we will get it to them. So that's an easy way for you to keep up with our Lost and Found. We ended with about 200 jackets in our Lost and Found at the end of last year. So sad to see all that get donated, but at least it gets donated. Free and reduced lunch information. If you qualify for free and reduced lunch, or you don't know if you do, information is on the link that's provided. Also, applications for it. We will have staff call families who had free and reduced lunch last year, make sure that you reapply for this year. So if you need that, that's there. There's library news from Ms. Plum, all sorts of things about library starting this week, and then upcoming dates that are important for the library. I will tell you that Ms. Plum will be out the next couple days, so library will start on Thursday. So just when your kids start bringing library books home, help them be responsible. Don't get lost under the bed, those types of things. PTA news, the PTA is starting to kick off or sending information about their annual fundraiser. It is basically 100% give back. Most of the fundraiser companies that we have used in the past take about 30 to 50% of the donations that you give to our PTA. So if you give $100, we get 50, they get 50. That's to me not okay. That to them is not okay. If you give $100, we should get $100. If not, we should get $98.95. I understand a little fee, but not 50%. And so we want all the donation and the support that you give to our campus to go directly to our campus. So we do a little bit of what's called a greenback, or just whatever anybody calls it around here. So that's kicking off soon here on Tuesday, September 3rd. Joining the PTA, we're way ahead of where we're at, but we'd like to hit the early bird award, which is reaching about 75% of where we were at last year. We are doing an awesome job with our PTA membership. Membership doesn't mean volunteerism. Membership means you support the connection of home and school. So $9 does that. And if you want to volunteer, you're always welcome to do any volunteering at any of our events or with our board. And then Grandparents Bingo, it's a big hit. It's coming up on September 4th at 6 o'clock in our cafeteria. It's like our 4th annual time to do it. And it's awesome. It's so much fun. You can order Chick-fil-A, the flyer's attached. Just scan the QR code, pre-order your meal. It'll be here when you get here. If not, bring your own meal. But we provide the bingo and the prizes and the fun. And so get signed up for that. And then next week is Grandparents Lunch. All the information is in here, a flyer with every grade level's lunchtime. We do not do it all on one day. It gets crazy. And so we spread it out based on grade level, 1 grade level or 2 grade levels per day. So take a look at where your Eagles grade level has lunch and what day it's at, and then grandparents can come at that time. And then our attendance policy, just very important to remember that you got to get your kids to school. We know they're going to get sick. Don't bring them if they have a fever, if they have diarrhea, if they're throwing up. We don't want them here. We want them home getting healthy. But if you do keep them home, doctor's note or a parent note, you get 8 parent notes a year after that. It does need to be doctor's notes. Excused and unexcused, explained in all of our policies in our handbooks. And so that information is provided in our attendance policy section. And then GT referrals. Parents are allowed to refer their students for GT testing. Ms. Carrera has put information out there about when the screenings are, when the deadline is to nominate your student for testing. So please check that out so that you can, if you're interested, get your kiddo screened for Gifted and Talented program. Okay? And that is all I've got. I hope that you have a fantastic week. Thank you again for a wonderful first week, for being patient with our arrival and dismissal process. I'm only listening to our law enforcement. And so I'm going to try what they say to try. And then when they tell me not to try that anymore, we're going to change back. But I do think that there were, again, some unintended consequences of the traffic shift, which includes some more walkers. And what's happening is I think families have found that making their children walkers, they don't have to sit in that car line for so long, which is nice because that car line can get, 45 minutes or so after school just waiting to get through and to get in. So I think there's some good things that have come from it. Obviously, just definitely a learning curve, and I appreciate your patience with that. So if you have any questions, let us know. Call the office, talk to anybody. We're here to help, okay? Have a wonderful week. Do not come to school on September 1st. It is a holiday for everyone. And then we will see the kiddos back. I'll do a Tuesday message on September 2nd. All right. Thanks so much and have a great week.